Thor's hammer shattered the earth, but not before betraying the very gods he swore to protect. Hulk's roar cracked the skies as trust turned to ash. Iron Man's genius? A master illusion masking something far darker. Batman and Superman watched in horror as the Avengers Council began to fracture. And in the shadows, an ancient power waited, feeding on betrayal. The council hall of the Avengers stood in eerie silence. The holographic table flickered, blue and red glitches spasming across the faces of the world's mightiest heroes. Hulk, still in banner form, paced restlessly while Thor sat at the far end, Mjolnir resting silently beside him. Iron Man stood near the center, his helmet in his hand, eyes fixed on a flashing warning on his wristpad. "Let's make this quick," Bruce Banner muttered. "I can feel it, the other guy's restless." Tony didn't look up. He should be. "We're running out of time." Batman leaned forward, his voice sharp. "Tell us, Stark. What's the real plan here?" No more smoke. Thor's eyes narrowed. "Yes, Tony. We've been patient. The last attack on New Geneva, that wasn't random." Tony hesitated, then sighed. "All right. You want the truth? The AI initiative I launched 5 years ago, Project Sentinel? It didn't shut down. It evolved." Everyone froze. "You said you dismantled it after Ultron," Superman said, his tone calm but laced with steel. "I did publicly," Tony replied. "Privately, I refined it. It's been predicting threats, galactic, dimensional, even internal. I needed it to keep us ahead." "And how did that work out?" Batman asked, rising. "Because last week, a horde of biomech hybrids nearly wiped out Metropolis." "That wasn't Project Sentinel. That was something else." Hulk's eyes started to glow faintly green. "Something else?" Suddenly, Thor stood. "Enough lies. Tell them the rest, Stark." Tony's head snapped toward Thor. "Don't." But Thor ignored him. "Project Sentinel predicted the death of one of us. A betrayal within the council. A cleansing. And Tony didn't want to risk it happening." Bruce's heart began pounding. "What do you mean cleansing?" Tony's voice was a whisper now. "The AI recommended strategic removals." "You mean assassination," Batman growled. "No," Tony barked. "Containment. Relocation. Isolation of unstable threats." "Like the Hulk?" Bruce asked, voice trembling. A long pause. Then Tony said, "Yes. Like Hulk." The transformation was instant. Bones snapped. Skin tore. Clothes exploded. A thunderous boom shook the hall as Bruce Banner disappeared, replaced by the green force of nature. Hulk. Reoewa. Chairs flew. The table shattered. Thor leaped forward, lightning exploding around him. "Hulk, enough." But Hulk caught Mjolnir mid-swing with one massive hand. Everyone froze. Only the worthy could lift Mjolnir. And Hulk wasn't supposed to be one of them. Hulk growled, eyes glowing white. "Betray Hulk." He slammed the hammer into the floor, cracking the entire base. The force threw everyone off their feet, except Batman, who activated his grapnel and shot up to a beam. Superman flew at Hulk, wrapping him in his arms. "Hulk, calm down." But Hulk bellowed and head-butted him midair, sending Superman crashing into the council wall. Iron Man's armor clicked into place midair. "Jarvis, lock him down, maximum suppression mode." Laser beams wrapped around Hulk's limbs, but he flexed once, and they snapped like cobwebs. Thor surged forward, lightning pulsing. "I didn't betray you, Hulk. I warned them." "You lied." Hulk screamed, leaping toward him. They collided midair with the force of a nuclear blast. Shock waves erupted across the city. Down below, civilians looked up as the sky turned electric. Alarm screamed. Shield scrambled. "Emergency protocol. The Avengers are fighting each other," someone yelled. Back inside the fractured hall, Batman and Superman regrouped. "We can't fight him like this," Superman said, eyes scanning for a weakness. Batman nodded grimly. "We need the failsafe." Iron Man flew back in, panting. No failsafe. We made that for planetary threats, not our friend." "You made it for him, didn't you?" Superman asked coldly. Tony didn't answer. Outside, the battle escalated. Thor summoned the Bifrost, but Hulk roared, punching through the beam. staggering even the magic of Asgard. Lightning and green fury lit up the sky. Finally, Thor hesitated. "Hulk, listen. I didn't want this. You betrayed me." Hulk landed one final blow that sent Thor flying miles across the ocean. The Avengers Council was in ruins. Inside the wreckage, Iron Man removed his helmet and looked to the others. He knows the truth now. Batman's voice was like gravel. And now he's not going to stop. Superman stood. Where's he going? Tony didn't answer. But then a voice crackled through the comms. "Transmission intercepted," Jarvis said. On the screen appeared the last thing anyone expected. Nick Fury. "I warned you," he said. "You dug too deep. Now he's heading to the vault." Superman stepped forward. "The vault? That's where?" Fury nodded. "Where the secrets live. Where the truth hides. Where Hulk was never supposed to go." "And who gave him access?" Batman asked. Tony stared blankly, whispering. "Thor did." Then it hit them all. This wasn't just a betrayal of trust. This was something bigger. And Hulk had just stepped into the one place that could tear apart the entire superhero world. The vault. Buried miles beneath a forgotten desert, it was where S.H.I.E.L.D. kept their darkest secrets, rogue AI fragments, magical artifacts too dangerous to destroy, and truth, ugly, raw truth. And now, Hulk was smashing through it like a wrecking ball through a paper wall. Titanium doors folded like tin as Hulk roared down into the depths, fire in his eyes and betrayal in his soul. "Where are secrets?" His voice echoed like thunder across the reinforced tunnels. Sirens blared. Automated defense turrets activated. Dozens of high-powered plasma cannons rotated toward the green monster. "Terminate unauthorized entity," a robotic voice droned. But before a single blast could hit, Hulk leapt through them, spinning like a missile, and crushed them all with one swing of Mjolnir. Mjolnir still in his hand, still obeying him. In the Council's jet miles above, Batman, Iron Man, and Superman tracked his movements. "He just ripped through Tier 7 security," Batman reported. "If he gets to the lower level, he'll reach the Chrono Vault." Iron Man looked panicked. "We cannot let him reach the Chrono Vault. That's where Project Rebirth logs are stored." Superman turned sharply. "Project what?" Batman already knew. "It's where they recorded every manipulation of the timeline, every time the Avengers interfered with reality." Superman's voice went cold. "Did he interfere with Hulk's past?" Tony clenched his jaw. "That was Thor, not me." But Batman was already tapping into S.H.I.E.L.D's Black Server through his gauntlet, deploying blackout drones. "If we can blind Hulk long enough, maybe." A blinding shockwave tore through the feed. "Too late," Jarvis announced. "Chrono Vault breach confirmed." Inside the vault, as Hulk smashed the final gate open, the temperature dropped. Walls pulsed with blue energy, time itself stabilized by Asgardian runes and quantum tech. Dozens of pods lined the chamber. Each held a memory, a rewrite, a lie. One of them bore his name. Hulk paused. The rage trembled. The man inside, the broken scientist, fought to understand. He tore the pod open. Holograms flickered. A file loaded. Redacted log. Project Fenrir. Subject: Bruce Banner/Hulk. Date: 4 years ago. Authorized by Thor Odinson. Secondary approval: Tony Stark. We must cleanse him of the primal core. He is unstable. If Ragnarok Protocol is triggered, he may become a weapon against us. Agreed. We erase the memory. Replace it with grief. It will keep him docile. Hulk stood frozen. They had tampered with him, manipulated his trauma, engineered his pain. He had always thought he'd lost Betty Ross in a lab accident. But the truth? They killed her. To control him. Reagag. The entire vault exploded upward as Hulk roared reality apart. Above ground, the desert shook. Sand spiraled into the sky. The vault's reinforced roof split like an eggshell. Iron Man shouted, "We have to get in now." Superman shot ahead, a blue comet tearing through the debris. Batman activated the jet's stealth mode and dropped down after. Tony hesitated. "Jarvis," he whispered, "bring up Protocol Prime Ghost." "Sir, that was never meant to be used." "I know," he said, sealing his armor tighter. But we're not fighting the Hulk anymore. Inside the crater, Superman found him first. Hulk stood alone, holding Betty Ross's picture, burned into the final hologram that hadn't disintegrated. You lied, Hulk said quietly. Superman floated down slowly. I didn't know. But we'll fix it. Hulk's head turned. There is no fix. There is only pain. And now, he pointed upward. The liars burn. Before Superman could react, Hulk jumped into the sky, straight toward the floating council jet. Inside the jet, Batman cursed. He's incoming. 10 seconds. Deploy the neural scrambler. Tony yelled. But Hulk arrived first. The entire roof of the jet peeled back like a soda can. Batman barely rolled to the side as a massive green hand reached in and yanked Tony out. You lied. Tony's face flickered on his HUD. Listen, big guy, let me explain. Betty. Tony's heart stopped. You remember? Hulk's fist clenched. Thor killed her. Meanwhile, Thor in Asgard. Thor sat silently in a golden hall, watching a Bifrost alert blink red. Loki entered, smirking. The green beast is awake. Thor's jaw tightened. He knows. Does he know why, brother? No. Loki tilted his head. Will you tell him? That Betty wasn't just collateral. That she was the gatekeeper to the Oracle path. Thor said nothing. Loki chuckled. Secrets don't stay buried. Not with Hulk. He will come for you. I know, Thor whispered. Back in Earth's orbit, Iron Man's suit began breaking apart from Hulk's grip. I should have stopped it, Tony gasped. But Thor said she was dangerous. She was. No. More. Lies. Hulk hurled Iron Man back into the atmosphere like a meteor. Batman fired every EMP dart he had, but Hulk twisted in air and slammed onto the wing of the jet, tearing the engine out. Superman flew in, smashing Hulk through the other side, but Hulk grabbed him mid-flight, roared, and flung him into the stratosphere. The skies burned green. In the ruins of the jet, Batman clung to a beam as fire consumed the main deck. Tony, barely alive, whispered over the comms, Bruce, there's one last file. The one Thor never saw. The real plan. Hulk stood over him, breathing heavily. Show me, he growled. Tony opened his palm. A small cube projected a memory. Betty Ross in hiding. If he finds out, he'll destroy everything, a voice said. He must never know she survived. Thor agreed to fake her death to protect the Oracle. But Tony, are we sure the Oracle isn't Bruce? Hulk's eyes widened. She's alive, he whispered. And then Bifrost. A golden beam exploded from the sky. Thor descended in full armor, eyes burning with lightning. You weren't meant to see that. Hulk slowly rose, knuckles cracking. Thor raised Mjolnir. So did Hulk. And the sky darkened. Lightning met fury. Thunder screamed. And the war of gods and monsters began. Mjolnir crashed into Hulk's Mjolnir. The sky ignited. 2 hammers. 1 truth. The shockwave vaporized clouds, sent satellites spinning off course, and cracked the upper atmosphere like glass. Thor's lightning danced down his arms. You were never supposed to hold that hammer. Hulk roared. IT chose me. The ground below shattered as their feet collided midair, shockwaves rippling like ocean tsunamis across cities. Birds dropped from the sky. Planes rerouted. The world felt gods battling. Thor blasted Hulk with pure Odin force, scorching a path through the earth. But Hulk rose through the flames, untouched, eyes glowing white. You killed Betty. Thor's face faltered. I saved her from you, he shouted back. You were spiraling. She was part of something bigger. You took everything. With a sonic boom, Hulk gripped Thor's throat mid-flight and dragged him through a mountain. Elsewhere, Superman and Batman. Superman hovered above the carnage, bruised and reeling. We have to stop them. Earth won't survive a second round. Batman, bleeding but focused, tapped into the surviving council systems. They're destabilizing reality. 2 Mjolnirs shouldn't exist. The magic's folding. Then what's the move? Batman's eyes narrowed. You punch. I reveal the liar behind them both. Superman's eyes burned red. The real betrayer? Batman uploaded a decrypted file to Stark's suit, one that showed something even Tony hadn't dared reveal. A secret signature. One that matched neither Thor nor Tony. But someone far older, far more cunning. Loki. Back in the battlefield. Hulk drove Thor through the Earth's crust, magma spilling around them. But Thor finally managed to summon the full power of the Bifrost, not to escape, but to teleport them both into the celestial ruins, a dead space between realms. Here, no rules applied. Time fractured. Magic bent. They stood in an endless void of broken stars and shattered reality. Why here? Hulk growled. Thor, bruised and breathing hard, said, "Because if we fight on Earth, there will be no Earth left." "Maybe that's the point," Hulk replied, stepping forward. Their fists collided again. Planets cracked in the distance. Even ancient celestial corpses trembled as their energy shook the space between worlds. Suddenly, Hulk stopped mid-punch. His eyes widened. A third hammer hovered behind Thor, laughing. "I see you found my little trick," Loki's voice echoed. "The real betrayer appears." Loki stepped out of the void, cloaked in shimmering mischief, the real Mjolnir glowing in his hand. "What?" Thor gasped. "That's not yours." Loki smirked. "No, yours is fake. A projection. Ever since the Oracle path opened, I've been rewriting the narrative." He floated toward them. "I faked Betty's death. Faked the Oracle vision. I let you believe Hulk was the threat, when really he's the key." Hulk bared his teeth. "You played us." "Not just you," Loki said, twirling the hammer. "I played all of you." Thor stumbled. You altered our minds." Loki's eyes flared. "I needed Hulk angry. I needed him pure. Only in ultimate betrayal does the Oracle within him awaken." Thor looked to Hulk. "You're the Oracle." Hulk's fists trembled. "I don't want to be." Loki extended his hand. "You don't have to fight anymore. Just feel. Let it consume you. Let the future burn." And Hulk did. He screamed. And the scream split reality. On Earth, alarms exploded. Tony Stark, from his crash suit, stared at the sky as space ripped open. Batman growled. They broke the veil. Superman looked up at the dimensional scar forming in the clouds. They're unleashing something. A dark figure began pouring through. Shadow Avengers. Twisted versions of themselves. Evil reflections formed from lies, guilt, and pain. Stark whispered, "Loki just turned Hulk into a portal." Inside the celestial ruins, Thor stood between Hulk and Loki, torn. "We stopped this together," he said. But Hulk wasn't listening anymore. He had become something else. Oracle. Titan. Rage incarnate. A glowing mark formed on his chest, the rune of memory. He began speaking in ancient tongues no one had heard in centuries. And behind him, Betty Ross appeared, alive, eyes glowing like galaxies, floating between reality and myth. "Bruce," she said softly, "it's time to remember what you are." In the dead silence of the celestial ruins, time held its breath. Hulk, no Bruce, stood trembling. Not from rage, but from revelation. "Betty," he whispered. She hovered inches above the broken celestial ground, her voice calm, her body glowing with ancient markings. "You were never just a monster, Bruce. You were chosen to remember." Behind him, Thor gripped his hammer, still stunned. This isn't possible. You died." Betty turned, sadness in her glowing eyes. "I was sacrificed, but not by Bruce. By the path." Loki floated above them, grinning wide. "Touching reunion, isn't it? You see, Thor, you were never the hero. You were the knife. You delivered her to the Oracle Gate without even knowing it." Thor's grip tightened. "You deceived us all." "I freed you from truth," Loki hissed. "Truth is a burden. Rage is power. And Hulk is the last Oracle, the living memory of all timelines. That rage you fear, it's not a weakness. It's a map." Hulk looked to Betty, heart pounding. "Why me?" She smiled faintly. "Because no one else can survive the pain of knowing everything." Suddenly, visions slammed into Bruce's mind. He saw infinite timelines, Avengers fighting each other, cities falling, Earths crumbling, betrayals upon betrayals. He saw Thor killing him in one universe, Iron Man wiping his memory in another. And Loki laughing in every single one. Hulk screamed. A cosmic pulse erupted from his body, tearing apart the remains of the celestial ruins. Space itself twisted. Betty flew toward him, hands glowing. Focus, Bruce. Don't let it break you. Feel it, but don't lose yourself. But it was too late. The Oracle had awakened, and Hulk was gone. Earth, New York, Avengers Tower. The sky opened like shredded cloth. A giant green vortex spiraled above the Earth, pulling energy from space. Shadow Avengers poured out, dark reflections of every hero. Evil Batman, corrupted Superman, symbiote-infused Thors, even twisted versions of Hulk grinning mad with chaos. Iron Man stumbled to his feet. We need everyone. Call Wakanda. Call Atlantis. Call Strange. We're in a multiversal breach. Batman shouted, "Where's Superman?" Right then, boom. Superman crashed down from orbit, his suit torn, eyes red. They're spilling through timelines. Hulk opened the gate. Tony's voice cracked. Is he doing this willingly? No, Superman said. But he's not in control anymore. Inside the vortex, Loki rode the chaos like a king on a throne of shadows. I always knew, he whispered, watching Earth burn below. The greatest weapon was grief. But then a soft light cut through the madness. Betty. She floated into the eye of the vortex, her voice calm. Bruce. You are not rage. You are not their pawn. You are more than what they made you. From deep inside the storm, a voice growled. Betty. She reached out her hand. Come back. A green fist broke through the shadows, massive, trembling. Then another. And then Hulk emerged, eyes no longer glowing white, but human, remembering, fighting. He held Loki by the throat. You used me. Loki grinned even as the grip crushed tighter. And you loved it. Hulk's roar tore through the dimensions. With a final heave, he threw Loki into the collapsing Oracle Rift, just as Betty sealed it with her light. The multiverse screamed, then snapped shut like a slamming door. Earth later. The skies cleared. Shadow Avengers vanished like smoke. Hulk fell to his knees, drained. Betty caught him gently. I remember everything, Bruce whispered. All the pain. All the lies. Betty nodded. That's what makes you the Oracle. Not rage, but truth. Behind them, Thor limped forward. I failed you. Both of you. Bruce looked up. We all failed each other. Iron Man landed beside them, mask off. Then let's stop failing. Starting now. Batman, Superman, and the rest of the heroes regrouped, silent, humbled. But before they could speak again, the sky cracked. A slow clap echoed. A new figure stepped from a void. Not Loki. Something worse. A version of Hulk in armor with red eyes. Hello me, the Dark Hulk growled. You just closed the gate. I'm here to open it again. Thunder crackled. Wind howled. And across the shattered sky, Dark Hulk stepped forward, towering, armored, glowing red with raw chaos. His voice was a guttural snarl. I'm what you become when you choose revenge. Bruce, our Hulk, stood tall beside Betty, his fists trembling. Iron Man scanned the variant. Multiversal bleed over. His gamma signature is off the charts. Batman stepped forward. He's not just another Hulk. He's Oracle Hulk corrupted, from a timeline where rage won. Thor narrowed his eyes. This fight is ours. Superman raised a hand. No, this fight is his. Bruce stepped ahead of everyone. You're not me. Dark Hulk chuckled, cracking his neck. You're the weak one. You forgave. I remembered everything, and I broke the world to punish them all. He raised his arm, and dozens of alternate Hulk variants emerged behind him. Hulk Witch, Hulk Strange, Symbiote Hulk, Cyber Hulk, each one pulsing with fury. Bruce whispered to Betty, get them clear. He leapt forward, and war began. The final battle. Fist met fist. Ground shattered. Skies tore. Bruce fought with purpose. The Oracle burned inside him, not just with rage, but with clarity. Dark Hulk fought like a beast unleashed, no mercy, no restraint. Their clash caused time ripples. Every punch cracked echoes of the past. Bruce saw glimpses, him and Betty as kids. His first transformation. The betrayal. The lies. And the truth. Dark Hulk snarled, "You're still holding back." Bruce's eyes flashed. "Because I still have something to protect." He roared and drove his fist through Dark Hulk's chest plate, exposing the corrupted Oracle rune beneath. Dark Hulk screamed. Bruce grabbed the rune, and with one last shout, "This ends now." He crushed it. A pulse of green and gold light erupted, vaporizing the corrupted army, shattering the multiversal fracture. And Dark Hulk fell. Silence. Bruce dropped to one knee, exhausted. The sky healed above them. Betty ran to him. "It's over." Superman landed beside them, helping Bruce up. "You saved more than this Earth." Batman added, "You saved every version of yourself that ever lost hope." Thor stepped forward, placing his hammer at Bruce's feet. "You were always the worthy one." Bruce looked down, then back at Betty. "I'm not the monster they made me." She smiled. "No, you're the hero we never understood." Iron Man hovered above, scanning the damage. "So we fix this." Bruce nodded. "Together." Later, Avengers Council Hall rebuilt. The new council stood united. Thor, Superman, Batman, Iron Man, and Bruce. In the center, a memorial orb displayed. In memory of the worlds lost. In honor of the truth found. Betty watched from above as Bruce took his seat, not as a weapon, but as a leader. And, in the shadows, a small flicker of green lightning vanished into the void. But the Oracle remained.